Welcome to part 1 of what may be considered one of the most confusing and difficult temples in Ocarina of Time. Navi has been telling us to try out our new iron boots that we picked up in the ice cavern. And although Lake Hylia is mostly dried up now, the ancient temple lies in the deepest part of the lake, still under the waves, guarded by the Zoras. It is their sacred temple that they use to worship their water spirit. Follow the ruins down to the lowest point, and then between the two pillars, equip your iron boots, so that we sink to the bottom, and the Zoran tunic, allowing us to breathe underwater. If you do not have either of these items, you should get them before going into the water temple. Then, from here you can use your hook shot to shoot the blue triangle up there, and open the gate. We need to be able to break the curse inside of the water temple to unfreeze Zora's domain. The temple consists of 4 floors and requires the use of playing Zelda's Lullaby at 3 different locations with Triforce markings on the wall in order to manipulate the level of water, which will give Link access to various parts of the temple. We'll also have to continuously take our iron boots on and off between the Kokiri boots and the iron boots, which requires hitting the start button and switching them back and forth every time. This was fixed later in Ocarina of Time 3D, but unfortunately we're playing the original Nintendo 64 Ocarina of Time game. So anyway, head through the 2 torches and we'll find our fiancée, Princess Ruto. And she is telling us that she never forget the vows that we took 7 years ago, and how terrible it is that we kept her waiting all this long time. And she wants to talk about love, but we don't really have time to do that right now. And that will be the last time we will see Princess Ruto in the water temple until we completely finish. But if you look up, there's a big hole there, so remove the iron boots, switch back to the Kokiri boots, and float back up. And make note of that partial hole there in the wall. We'll have to come back to that room later, after the water level's been changed, and then we'll have access to it. Anyway, from here, you'll see the symbol of the Triforce on the wall. Navi runs over to it, and if you check it out, those who wish to open the path, sleeping at the bottom of the lake, must play the Song of the Royal Family, which of course is Zelda's Lullaby. So play that, and that will change the water level. So now it'll go from the very, very top, highest level, down to the very lowest level. There's also a medium level that we'll have access to later, but now the water's drained all the way down. Anyway, run through that door, and in here we'll find a new enemy called a Spike. So they can be Z-targeted, and then taken out by your hook shot. Probably the most effective weapon against them. They will turn into rocks, and then if you get too close to them, the rocks then will turn into those rolling spike balls that can throw you off guard and hurt you. So the safest way to defeat them is from a distance. Don't get too close. Anyway, after defeating all 4, we'll see a large chest that will appear. So we can open that up to obtain the dungeon map. Well, that's all that there is to do in here, so now we can run back out the door and jump all the way down, and upon hitting the bottom, roll so we don't take any damage. Now, since the water's all gone here, you'll notice 2 unlit torches on the corners and fire. So you can either use Din's fire to light them, or shoot an arrow through the fire, lighting the torches that way. That then opens the door, and upon entering, we find a new type of enemy again, called the Shell Blade. They can be targeted from afar, and use your hookshot or bow to defeat them when their mouths are open. The alternative, you could kill them all at once using dense fire. So Z target, wait for them to open their mouth, and then hit them with the hookshot. If you don't kill them fairly quickly, they'll come after you, chase you down, and attack you. And we'll open up a chest to obtain our first small key. Now we need to run all the way back out to the hub of the dungeon. And we'll continue counterclockwise into the next room over here. When we get to the end, you'll notice a suspicious-looking floor that we'll have to drop a bomb on that will open up a lower level that we can go down into. So equipping the iron boots, we can fall down into the water. Now we'll notice a Shell Blade underwater. You can defeat them pretty much the same as on top of the water. Z target, and when they open their mouth, hit them with your hook shot. Back to the Kokiri boots and go back up again. The hook shot is great because unlike most of your other items, it will work underwater. So from here, jump on the switch. That will raise the water level up slightly, allowing us to get onto this platform, and then we can hook shot up from here. Then we'll have the two Tettites to have to deal with. The big Goron sword works very well here. And if you have it, I definitely recommend using it for this next part. Because now we can get up here next to the gate. There's a switch inside, and we'll have to do a spin attack in order to hit it. The pots will have a bunch of arrows and bombs in them. And then if we don't steel on the wall, we can collect token number 71. And now, nothing else to do but head back to that main room again, and we'll continue counterclockwise. Now we're faced with a giant block. So, only thing to do, you can't pull it, is push it along. Just to avoid having to swap the boots back and forth again, I just went ahead and dove down under here. And we come right back up. And now from here, there's a switch right on our right-hand side. Hitting it will bring up a water geyser from below, allowing you to jump all the way across to the other side of the room. You can avoid the Tittite and go right on through to the next room. Here, we'll find a whirlpool that spins counterclockwise. We need to land in the upper right-hand corner in order to land on top of the ducting. I actually put the iron boots on a bit too soon, so not quite on top of the flat part of the duct, so no big deal. But we have to swap back to the Kokiri boots and try again. You'll notice a switch that we can use our hook shot to hit in the dragon's mouth. Upon hitting that, will open the door to the right, so we can hook shot up here. Switch over to the Kokiri boots, so you can ignore the shell blades, swim above them into this little alcove up here, and then go and open the chest to obtain a small key. Then, hit the switch. That'll open the door back again, so we'll be able to get back out of here. The door actually hit me there on the way out. Anyway, we'll need to go all the way back to that main center room again. So here you'll have the option of either using your hookshot to hookshot the target and then just climb it across, or you can shoot the switch again and use the geyser of water. Now from here, we'll have to leave our iron boots on because the only way to get out of here is to use the hookshot. The water level isn't quite high enough to be able to swim all the way out. Alright, so as of now, we're actually done with everything on this level. So after dealing with these two spikes here, then we need to use one of our keys to head into this large center area. If we run all the way over to the opposing wall and turn around, if you look up, there's a place up here that we can hookshot onto. At the top, we'll find the second of 3 symbols of the Triforce that will change the water level. So this one will change the water level to the midpoint. So we'll bring the water all the way up to the point that we're at now. And if you look there where the arrow is pointing, that block moves up, uncovering an opening below it. So if you didn't notice that, it can be hard to see, but between these 2 blocks we put our iron boots on, we'll fall between the spikes. And then we can drop down into that hole, which will take us all the way down into the basement of the temple. Once in this new room, obviously the only thing we can do is hit the switch. As the gate opens, we're greeted with a whole bunch of spikes and shell blades. My best advice is fight from a distance. As long as you don't get close, they're very easy to defeat. With the shell blade, remember, Z-target them, wait till they open their mouth, and then shoot them. Here's what happens if you get too close, or wait too long defeating it. They will chase you. So you have to run away, and create some distance between you and the shell blade. And then the other crate will open, so we can head up through there. Alright, open the chest to obtain another small key. So at this point, we should have 2 small keys. Alright, now it's time to head back out into that main center area again. Now from here we can turn and run out of the door, and now, since the water level is at the midpoint of the dungeon, we have access to an area that we really did not before. If you remember from back in the early part of the episode, right after we saw Princess Ruto, there was that hole in the wall that we really couldn't get to because we couldn't bomb it because the water level was too high. So now, with the water at the mid-level, we can run back to where we saw Princess Ruto originally, then take the iron boots off and float up to that area, which we now have access to. do not have 3 keys at this point, go back because we'll need all 3. So you'll have to go back and find the one that you're missing. Now, with the water in the middle level, we need to head up to the locked door, and we'll use one of our keys to go through there. Right, after coming in this room, you'll notice a switch and a geyser, and of course the switch will make the geyser rise up. But before doing that, there's a Tick-Tite up there which will fall down to you. So I suggest lure him down here and then defeat him before hitting the switch. And then either use a bomb or an arrow to activate the switch while standing on the geyser. And here we are at the 3rd of 3 places in the temple in which the water level can be changed. So playing Zelda's Lullaby here will bring the water level to the highest of the 3 levels that it can go. This was also the water level when we originally entered the water temple. And then from here we can jump in the water and go straight to our left and go through this locked door. If you don't have at least 2 keys at this point, you won't make it through. Alright, from here we have 2 keys on the wall, so go and take them out first. And then this will be a room of moving platforms. So we'll have to jump all the way down to the lowest platform, and then use your hook shot to go onto the next one. Wait so that you're close enough to hook shot onto it, and then you'll have to go fairly quickly here because you're losing ground, obviously, as we keep moving down. So keep hook shotting onto the next platform, one after the other, until you get close enough to that top one there, and then hook shot onto it, and continue on through. So there's a switch there on that pillar, and every time you hit the switch, it will raise and lower the water level. It will also raise and lower the statues, which will have targets on them that we can hook shot onto. So first thing is I suggest dealing with all the Tick-Tites. If you want to, you can actually raise the water level before shooting them, just to make it a little bit easier. But anyway, so you can see as you hit the switch, all the statues come up, and the targets will appear. So with the water level raised, we'll hook shot onto this next statue. After getting over there, we'll have to lower the water level, and then we'll hook shot onto the target that is on the left side of the statue, not the statue itself. Reason being, we have to be able to climb across the statue's head after we get over there. After that is done, we'll raise the water level, and then we can hook shot onto the last platform. After doing that, we'll have to lower the water level again, climb on top of the statue's head, and then while up there, we can raise the water level to the highest level again, which will give us access to that upper ledge. Then from up here, we'll have to deal with the 2 Tick-Tites, and then there is a light on the other side of those sharp spikes on the floor. Go ahead and either take care of him with a spin attack or just use bombs, like I did. And then there's a target up above on the ceiling that we can use to hook shot onto the other side. And then there's some jars you can break that have magic in them. Make sure that you fill up whatever we can, because now we have to deal with a very challenging mini-boss. So thank you for watching, and please join me again for episode 48, where we will defeat Dark Link.